welcome back to a new adventure. Today we are out in the South Bay of Los Osos. So, as you can see over there is Morro Rock, and then the back bay or South Bay, which makes an estuary here. And then you have the town of Los Osos. And this is Chumash Trail. It is just south of Hollister Peak, which you can see over there. And yeah, it is 5 o'clock on the dot. And again, as always, we're looking for signs of ancient life out here. This trail must be called Chumash Trail for a reason. I've never been on it before. But as always, we are staying on our toes for mountain lions. And yeah, it's a beautiful evening, a little chilly, but I'm excited for this adventure. So I stopped atop this hill to give a brief history on the indigenous history of this area, specifically south back bay of Morro Bay. So that is the Morro Bay estuary, and that is where a lot of freshwater creeks from the hills flow down and they meet the ocean, and they create a very unique, abundant marine ecosystem. And that was one of the main food sources for the Chumash here. All along here, along the town of Los Osos, particularly behind Los Osos Middle School that you find over there, there is huge midden sites, which are probably some of the biggest in the indigenous land out here, which are just refuse sites from the indigenous, largely from shellfish and marine animals, bones. And yeah, a lot of those are still visible, and the literature has shown that they've been dated to be from the times that the indigenous lived out here. So a lot of evidence of ancient life out here. It's a beautiful place to be, abundance of nature and resources. So there's no doubt that they had large settlements here and lived year-round off of the abundant food that's found here. In a lot of places around San Luis Obispo County and trails, you'll find a lot of these signs: area closed for plant rehabilitation. So as you can see, this area is very green. It's just had rain. We've had a lot of storms out here, and it looks lush, it looks beautiful, but most of those plants that are creating that green look in the landscape are annual exotic grasses, which are grasses that have been introduced from Europe largely by the first pioneers here to make it a more suitable land for grazing and have some resource for the cattle that ate on these hills. The problem with those annual exotic grasses is that once the rain hits, they grow very quickly and they dry very quickly into the summer months, which makes for a much more fire-prone ecosystem, more so than is naturally occurring here. Another problem is that they just generally outcompete lots of native plants. Problems with these invasive grasses that's very visible here is the erosion of the soil. So the grasses don't have as dense of root systems to be able to hold up the land as well as these native perennial brushes do. The recent rains, the creeks are so full of life. You can hear those frogs are as happy as I am to be out here. There's quite a change in landscape in this trail. So I'm about 1.5 miles in now, and it went from a prairie grassland to this little oak forest. It's beautiful out here. It is getting darker, so I might have to turn around soon, but it's a great trail. I decided to turn back as it's getting darker, especially in that oak grove that I was in. I couldn't see very well, so I thought it was better to turn back. All this is wild fennel, an invasive plant here. Largely, its establishment is facilitated by disturbance by cattle grazing. Really dominates the landscape, the ecological balance that should be existing here. Don't want to mess with that guy.